Thank you, Vinny. Thank you, Vinny, and thank you for all the supporters of these initiatives. I want to focus on the price gouging legislation that we're going to be filing, and we've seen in Maryland and all over the country drug prices skyrocketing, prescription drug prices. They're hard to understand when you're talking about generic drugs. Generic drugs are off patent, and they've been one of the few healthcare bargains that Americans and Marylanders have relied upon for decades. They're vital for our health care, they're vital for ourselves, for our families, for our kids. And we find that when drugs go off patent and there's competition, the price plummets. If there's robust competition, the price for generic drugs is around 20% of what it is for the brand name drugs before they go off patent. But in the past several years, we've seen that prices, even for generic drugs, have increased dramatically. A 2014 survey of pharmacists related to 25 generic drugs found price increases from 600 to 2,000% in many instances. The explanation is not that the costs of manufacturing have gone up. It's not the cost of selling the drugs that's gone up. Last month, my office filed suit against six generic drug manufacturers. And we joined with 19 other attorneys general across the country in doing it. And what we allege is these companies conspired to fix prices. We allege they carved up the market, that they allocated customers. You take that one, we'll take this one, and then they jacked up their prices. The United States Special Committee on Aging found similar problems. They did an investigation, and according to their report, the price of Daraprim is a 64-year-old antibiotic. The price of that went from $13.50 per tablet to $750 per tablet, a more than 5,000% increase. For Thiola, the price increase was 2,000%, Ceramycin, 2,000%, Cupramine, 2,060%, Cyprine, 3,162%, and all these drugs are roughly 30 to 50 years old. The Special Committee on Aging found the reason that the prices have increased. Glad to see my friend, colleague, Senator Joan Carter Conway. The Aging Committee found that drug companies were able to corner the market on these generic drugs. And the investors in the companies that owned them came from the hedge fund world, not from the pharmaceutical world. They just jacked prices up as much as they could. The report describes the havoc they wreaked on the family of a 2-month-old baby, a girl with an infection called toxoplasmosis. And Daraprim is the drug of choice for treating that infection. Her cost of treatment jumped 5,000% to $360,000. That's how much it would have cost to get Daraprim to save her life. This kind of hedge fund behavior has threatened the health and the lives of working families across the country. It's affected our ability to deliver health care. It's squeezed the budgets of hospitals, and it's costs state and local governments hundreds of millions of dollars. The bill that we're supporting very simply prohibits price gouging. We want drug manufacturers to make profits. We want them to produce generic drugs. But when they acquire and abuse monopoly power, they hurt patients. They threaten our healthcare system, and they damage our communities. When asked why he had jacked up prices for a generic drug, one former hedge fund executive turned CEO of a pharmaceutical company said, "Because I can." Well, our response is, no, you can't.
All right.
Not in Maryland, not in our house. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's have a big hand for Attorney General Brian Frosh. Maryland is so lucky to have it.